I woke up. I was laying in a private ward. The door wasn't fully closed, and voices drifted in from the hallway.
Mr. Dela Cruz. Mrs. Dela Cruz's injuries are serious this time. If she finds out about Mrs. Melendez again.
It was Jeffrey's personal physician, Luciano Núñez. Before he could finish, Jeffrey's cold, sharp voice cut through the air.
Watch your mouth. Your job is to treat her, nothing more.
He paused, his tone low and detached.
Geraldine has been in this business for years. She's seen every kind of vicious trick. She's an expert herself. Amelia isn't like her. She's clean like a blank slate. She would never stand a chance against Geraldine.
Then his voice dropped even lower.
If she wakes up and starts causing trouble, bring her mother here. That's her only weakness left. She won't sit still if her mother's involved.
I gripped the bedsheet tightly, biting my lip until I tasted blood. That night, years ago, when I helped him take down the head of New Jersey's largest casino, he had told me,
Gary, from now on, no one in New Jersey's underworld will ever lay a hand on you.
He had said the same words, made the same promise of protection, but the person he wanted to protect had changed. Once, I had been his most precious possession. Now, in his eyes, I was a dangerous, conniving woman who needed to be controlled. Footsteps approached. I shut my eyes and pretended to have just woken up.
You're awake?
He said flatly.
We found out that it was that Brazilian gambler who got his hand broken last time for cheating at the casino.
He tossed a flickwood onto the bed.
Sign this settlement agreement, and they'll give up control of Trenton.
Trenton by the Sea was New Jersey's last clean haven, untouched by gambling or crime. And then I remembered what he had said to Amelia.
I'll build you a quiet place, a resort where you can relax.
So all my pain and scars had just become the price he paid to build a gilded cage for his new lover. My throat burned.
Jeffrey, when did you make this deal?
Was it the moment he saw me being dragged away, or long before that, when he had already decided to pave the road for her with my suffering? He frowned, clearly irritated by my question. I forced a smile and said nothing more. The answer no longer mattered. Maybe to ease his guilt, he spent the next 2 days staying with me under the pretense of handling business. But his phone never left his hand. Even during meals, he would take photos to send to someone on the other end of the chat, his lips curving into a gentle smile I had never once seen before. I stared at his side profile, and for a moment, my mind drifted back 8 years. The first time I met him wasn't at the casino. It was in a dark alley. He had been caught cheating, surrounded by 7 or 8 men with machetes. They dislocated his arm right there on the street. I woke up. I was laying in a private out and dragged him back to my apartment to patch him up. Later, Dad fell deep into gambling debt and was hunted down by drug traffickers, who killed him. They came for me next, pressing a needle against my vein as collateral for his debt. It was Jeffrey who burst in with his men, saving me at the last second. By then, he had taken over a small casino and placed me behind the Golden Sphero, where I became his invisible weapon, the Scarlett Healer. I helped him swallow one casino after another, eliminate one rival after another. I knew my hands were stained with blood that could never be washed clean. But even if the whole world thought I was filthy, he shouldn't have. After I was discharged, Jeffrey used business matters as an excuse and never showed up again. Tomorrow, I would be leaving. While he was away, I went back to the top floor of the casino and retrieved my passport and several crucial identity documents from the safe. But as I stepped out of the elevator, my knees suddenly gave out, and I stumbled forward. Before I could fall, a pair of slender hands caught me. "Are you okay?" The voice was soft and gentle. I looked up into Amelia's clear eyes. She wore a nurse's uniform from the casino's VIP clinic but still looked painfully out of place here. She didn't recognize me. She probably thought I was just another gambler who had lost everything.
I'm fine. Thank you.
I said quickly, trying to leave, but she didn't let go. Instead, she guided me towards the staff lounge. "You don't look well. You should rest in the back for a while." For reasons I couldn't explain, I didn't refuse. She poured me a cup of warm water, then pulled a pack of dried fruit and some bread from her locker.
Here, eat something. Losing money's not the end of the world. Go home early. Your family's probably waiting for you.
When I didn't respond, she hesitated, then reached into her pocket and slipped a few bills into my hand.
This should cover your cab fare. I wish I could help with your plane ticket, but I can't.
Something logged in my throat. I wanted to tell her to stay away from Jeffrey. He had no heart. His tenderness was poison wrapped in sugar. But the words died before I could speak them. If she found out who I really was, she would turn against him. And then, I would be the one responsible for her downfall. I had only one day left. I couldn't risk my own lives for a moral victory. So I took the money she offered, thanked her, and walked quickly out the back door. The moment I stepped outside, something cold pressed hard against my temple. It was a gun barrel. I instinctively turned around. Amelia was already lying motionless on the hallway floor. I moved to react, but a sudden blow to the back of my neck sent everything into darkness. When I came to, both Amelia and I were tied up in an abandoned warehouse. She was sobbing softly.
Who are you people? Why are you doing this to us?
Kieran Doyle stepped forward and slapped her hard.
To get back at your fiancé, Jeffrey! He stole my Newark territory, cutting off my business!
So it was the Newark gang. That territory was the one Jeffrey had recently acquired using the settlement agreement I had signed. Fortunately, they didn't recognize me. To them, Amelia, the woman always seen at Jeffrey's side, was the target. I began working my wrists, using the microblade I kept hidden under my nail to saw through the ropes. Kieran thought I was a gambler and spit at me.
You're just unlucky, lady. Wrong place, wrong time. Call your family. Get $5 million here, and we'll let you go.
Amelia's tears streaked down her pale face.
Ms. Leonard, I'm so sorry for dragging you into this. But don't be scared. My fiancé is powerful. He'll come for us.
At the mention of Jeffrey's name, her eyes shone with unshakable trust. I didn't say a word and quickened the movement of the blade against the ropes. Kieran cursed at his phone when his call went unanswered, then kicked over a fuel drum in frustration.
Damn it! Jeffrey! It's not picking up! Fine, let's send him a little message to wake him up!
He picked up a knife from the floor, his eyes glinting with a sick grin as they swept over Amelia.
I heard you two went to the hospital. You're carrying his child, aren't you? Perfect. We'll dig that little brap out and send it to him.
So she was pregnant with Jeffrey's child. Amelia froze in terror, her face draining of color.
No, please, don't hurt my baby.
The men around her laughed crudely and reached for her. In that split second, I tore through the last of my ropes, sprang to my feet like a cornered predator, and drove my elbow into Kieran's jaw. I snatched the knife from his hand, cut through Amelia's bindings, and shoved her behind me.
Damn it! Kill her!
Kieran bellowed, clutching his bleeding chin. 5 or 6 thugs rushed forward, swinging metal rods. I knew how to fight, but still half recovered from my injuries, and facing too many at once, I was quickly overwhelmed. The blows landed hard, searing pain spreading through my body. Still, I grit my teeth and used my body as a shield to protect Amelia in the corner. Kieran lost patience. With a click, he chambered a bullet and aimed the gun straight at me.
Die, bitch!
Just as he was about to pull the trigger, a deafening explosion blew open the warehouse doors. Jeffrey burst into the warehouse with his men, gunfire erupting instantly. He moved like a raging lion, charging straight toward us. Without a glance at me, he swept Amelia into his arms.
It's okay, Amelia. I'm here.
She gave a faint sob, the shock finally overwhelming her, and passed out against his chest. He carried her carefully to the car outside, placing her gently inside before turning back towards me.
Geraldine,
His voice was cold as steel.
why are you here?
I forced myself upright through the pain, meeting his glare with a bitter smile. You think I planned this? Before I could finish, his hand cracked across my face. The blow sent me crashing to the floor, blood filling my mouth.
I knew it.
He snarled.
You've been trying to get rid of Amelia all along, haven't you?
I spit blood onto the ground.
I didn't.
He grabbed a wounded man nearby, pressed a gun to his head.
Who hired you?
The thug trembled, darting a terrified glance at me as if clinging to his last hope.
It was her! She paid us to rough up that woman!
My entire body went cold. My veins felt like they had turned to ice. Jeffrey's lips curled into a cruel smile. Without hesitation, he pulled the trigger. The man's body hit the ground with a dull thud. Jeffrey stepped over him, crouched down, and ground his heel onto my hand. Pain shot through me. His tone carried a hint of mockery, almost pity.
These hands used to obey me so well. Why are they hurting the person I love most?
He pulled out a dagger, its blade gleaming with a cold, deadly sheen.
I told you to never touch what's mine, at Geraldine.
The blade came down in a flash of silver. My breath stopped. The knife drove straight through my palm, pinning my hand to the concrete floor. A scream tore from my throat. Pain ripped through every nerve, blinding and searing. My body convulsed uncontrollably as darkness edged at my vision. Through the agony, I found my voice again.
Jeffrey! 8 years ago, I should have left you to die in that alley. I should have never helped you get where you are!
And with that, he destroyed whatever humanity still lingered between us. He gave a short, contemptuous snore and turned away. Without another look, he left the warehouse with his men following close behind. When the numbness finally dulled the pain, I used my left hand to reach into my bra and pull out a small hidden tracker. My fingers trembled as I pressed the signal. Levi arrived quickly. The moment he saw me, his eyes filled with horror. He carefully pulled the knife from my hand. But my right palm was already mangled beyond recognition and completely numb